With many workers seeing their hours and salaries cut while the cost of living continues to rise, a growing number of Americans are taking on a second job just to make ends meet.
Hello.
Joe Castellano and his wife Jennifer have 3 kids and a lifestyle that is increasingly difficult to afford.
My property taxes continue to rise. I'm looking at just what our food bill is coming in, our electric bill and our utilities. Wages are not growing at the same pace as expenses, especially in my household.
He's employed full-time in sales for a financial services company, but pay cuts in the industry have meant less money to support his family.
We worry about it every day. Given the economic times we're in, it certainly is a stressor to the family.
So this year, he took on a second job, running a Doctor's Express office in Paramus, New Jersey. Between both jobs, he works 80 to 90 hours a week.
Hello, Doctor's Express, Joe speaking.
It is exhausting to work that many hours. It's not unusual that you'll find me working at my office until 1, 2, 3 in the morning.
And Joe's not the only one. According to an online survey conducted by CareerBuilder.com, 9% of workers say they've added a second job in the last year, and 19% say they plan on starting one by the end of the year.
There are many employers that in the last year have cut back on hours, they've cut pay, they've cut benefits. More individuals are moonlighting now than in the last 5 years.
While a second job means more income for Joe, it also means less time with his family. But he says there's no other way.
We're trying to maintain that lifestyle that we've come to enjoy. It's just not possible with a single job and a 40-hour work week.
Workplace consultant Debra Shigley is author of The Go-Getter Girl's Guide, and she's here to explain how to make moonlighting work for you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Certainly the upside is going to be the added income. What are some of the downsides of moonlighting?
Well, obviously, the time factor, your focus is going to be divided between your day job and your nighttime job. And the other thing is that it can be risky. I mean, if you're going to be doing any type of activity that's going to be competing with your current employer, if there's any conflicts of interest, it could be grounds for termination. You could find that instead of having 2 jobs, you have no job.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. A rule of thumb, then. Should you tell your bosses that you're working 2 jobs?
Well, it depends. Obviously, you want to check the company policy.
Right.
And if there is something specifically on point, then go with that. But even if there's nothing directly on point, depending on how high up you are in the organization, you probably would want to disclose it. And you don't have to make a formal announcement. It can be something casual, just letting your boss know.
How do you keep from burning out, though? I mean, this guy's working 80 to 90 hours a week. Is there a way to do that and not just be frazzled by the end of the year?
Well, it will take its toll. And one of the most important things is to have an exit strategy. What's my game plan going in? Do I want to be doing this for 3 months, 6 months? Am I trying to transition fully to a new career? And then in the meantime, try to find 30 minutes at a time for working out, spending time with family, any of those things to kind of fit in that self-care.
Yeah, it's very difficult. One of the other aspects of this that is, I think, is interesting is how do you go about, okay, so I've got a full-time job, I want some extra income. Where do you go to look, and what are some of the better second job scenarios as you're sort of trying to think this out?
Well, there are a couple options. If you want to look for something that complements your job, one of the things you do is freelance consulting, teaching, tutoring, writing. These are all things that you can fit in with your normal schedule and may actually help your day job as well.
Sure.
If you're looking for more of a creative outlet, think about what are your interests. Do you bake? Do you fix computers on the side? Are you someone who can design jewelry? And you might be able to turn one of these hobbies into something that actually supplements your income.
Yeah, really. And wouldn't that be nice? Now, it's interesting because there are a number of websites out there, right?
Yes.
That you can go to that help you do what exactly?
Well, if you're looking for traditional freelancing opportunities, there's a bunch of them, freelancer.com, elance.com, guru.com, and they have all different kinds of industries and different opportunities that are sort of a one-off opportunity. If you're looking for more of a do-it-yourself kind of thing, you can go to Etsy.com. You may be familiar. It's a great website that you can set up an online store to sell these handicrafts that you're doing on the side.
Right, right. You know, I just saw a thing about a woman on eBay who's as an artist, and she's one of the best-selling artists in the country, and she does it all off of the internet.
Yeah, it's a huge trend now, particularly because it's especially flexible, and you can do it at your own time. You want to be careful because sometimes having a hobby that turns into a job can be more time than you would expect, but if you have a plan going into it, it can work.
Yeah. Rule of thumb for people who are about to embark on moonlighting, what's the most important thing they should remember?
Well, they should know their limitations, be realistic as to whether you you can handle the double schedule. Be realistic about your job. Is it one where moonlighting is going to be frowned upon or even a potential grounds for termination?
Yeah, you really got to watch out. Deborah
Yeah.
Shigley, thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff.